showtime. Woo, woo. Woo, 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 woo. Silent and profiling. Woo, woo, it's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report on the Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the T.O.P. from the 313. And by my side is my main man, my Toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. What's going on, brother?
Happy Monday, brother. Football's back.
Monday. Man, football is back finally. Good Lord. And guys, real quick, we do got a special guest joining us. Today is Drip Sanchez. What's going on, Drip?
What's going on?
What's going on, man? I got some people in the chat already. The angry Buffalo sports fan. He ain't angry today, though. I guarantee he's happy, Mikey. What's going on? And Chewy is always up here. Cheers. Anybody got their beer? Anybody got anything going up? Cheers. I know. Oh, yeah. Drip does. You know Drip does.
You know me and my water. Me and my water.
Mikey used to have the soda, but he went on the water, which is good for Mikey.
Yeah.
So we got Drip.
We always keep water around.
Yeah, hey, 100%. You got to have water. We got a special guest, like I said, guys. Drip Sanchez. Drip, man, I want you to tell everybody about yourself, man. And the floor is yours, bro.
My name is Drip Sanchez. Music artist, international music artist from Buffalo, New York. Huge Bills fan, Bills Mafia to the day I go. Like I said, born and raised here, man. Been into music, pretty much my whole life. Always had a strong love for music, which drove me to want to, conduct my own. And, I'm here and I'm happy to be on the show, man. Let's talk about Drip.
Angry Buffalo says Drip is unstoppable, is fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, if y'all ain't heard it, go out and check it out. It's on YouTube. Where else can they find that song, man?
You can find it on YouTube and any other major listening platform, playlist platforms. Any platform that you.
There you go. There you go.
YouTube, Deezer, any of those platforms, SoundCloud, it's all gonna be there. Type in Drip Sanchez anywhere, it's gonna pop right up.
And today I was speaking to your boy, and I found out, and I didn't know this about you, but you work at Signature Cuts,
right? Which
many people may not know. Many people know that is the official Buffalo Bills haircut, where Bills players go get their haircut. You guys are, I think, posted up at the stadium, correct?
Correct.
All right, man. How is that, man? Who matter of fact, what players you cut up, man? Who's the guys you be cutting?
We've been doing this for some seasons. So we've cut. We didn't went through a lot of players. It's a lot of players that come through the shop. Just know, all of them. You know what I mean? Any of them that they came through the shop. Right now in the current. We got Dawkins that come through the shop. We got Saran Neal. We got Isaiah McKenzie. We got the whole lineup, man. The whole lineup.
Any guys request any crazy cuts, like designs, or right now it's just fading up, or?
No, everybody pretty much get just the regular sleek cut.
Clean cut. I got you.
Yeah, sure.
You're gonna get one of them. Trust me. Someone's gonna want something.
It's gonna be Dawkins. It's gonna be Dawkins.
Yeah,
it's just his personality. One day he's gonna come in and want something crazy.
Right.
I know there was a few players back in the day that I remember having Buffalo logos on their head when they were playing.
Oh, yeah. We do that too, though. We do that. Yeah. We do that every home game. We go out to the stadium at Gate 4, and we on the grounds, and we put Bills logos inside, the fans' heads.
Nice.
Yeah, for the whole tailgate to the game start.
So you go. Are you a season ticket holder? Or you pretty much just go every game. You try to.
No, we just pretty much just go every game. Most of the players will look out, and and we'll just go and have a good time.
Somebody said you're looking like Shakir, man.
He's got the little Shakir look.
Yeah, man.
Oh wow!
Everybody said you got that Shakir going on, man. Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit, a little bit, a little
I
bit. What's going on, Daniel?
did a podcast.
Yeah, bro. So you got any albums coming out or anything like that coming out that they should know about?
Well,
Anything dropping?
my album dropped. No Time to Waste. NTTW. It's tatted right here in my hands.
There you go.
No Time to Waste. I dropped the album February 20th officially. It's a beautiful album, 15 tracks. From beginning to end, you're not gonna skip a track, and it's very heartfelt. And this album means a lot to me, from what I was going through at the time when I made the album. And it was a lot of work and love put into this. So, I mean, it's a great project. You definitely want to go check that out, and you can grab that on any platform also. Spotify, et cetera, iTunes, Apple Music. You can definitely go grab that, and please give the feedback. Let me know, what y'all think.
And by the way, guys, show this man some love and follow him on Twitter, because that dude should have way more Twitter followers, man. So what's your Twitter handle, man? Let them know, man.
Official Drip Sanchez. Drip Sanchez.
There you go.
I think
That's it.
The at name is Sanchez Drip. I'm sorry, y'all.
All right,
it's Sanchez Drip. You know what I mean?
All right, y'all.
On any other platform is Drip Sanchez, but my Twitter is definitely at Sanchez Drip. For sure.
Give him a follow, man. I want to see that Twitter. I want to see that Twitter numbers go higher on the subs, man. So come on, y'all. Show him some love, man. So let's get right into this, guys. Preseason, the Buffalo Bills won yet again another preseason game, 27-24 over the Colts. Mikey, your first thoughts are?
First thoughts are second team defense versus first team offense. They were stout. We saw Tim Settle take some fantastic reps against Kelly and Nelson. We saw our two young rookies at corner that played the entire first half. They held their own against Pierce and Pittman Jr. And then we saw the flash of Boogie Basham. That spin move was, and those hand moves, the work he's doing in the offseason, and then the time he spent with Vaughn is starting to pay off. You're starting to see it. We saw AJ Epinesa flash for a few plays. They weren't in there long. He didn't finish it, but I saw him get in the backfield a few times. But man, I was really, really impressed with our second team defense versus their first team offense. They had everybody except for Taylor back there.
Yeah, through over two, like almost that for the whole first half. They had their starting lineup, which was like a little crazy to me. I don't know what they were thinking.
I think they pulled them in the mid second quarter.
Yeah, mid second
quarter.
But still, I'm like, yo, like
I was.
But hey, go ahead. Hey, real quick, Chewy's asking me real quick for you, Drip. Who's your favorite Bills rookie so far right now? I know it's a tough one. There's a lot of really good ones. I understand.
Red versus blue. Now I'm not even gonna say that this is my favorite, because I like all them boys, but I seen Cook, and I just really feel like that was he got a lot. Cook got a lot with him.
James Cook.
Yeah, Cook got a lot with him. Like I'm excited to see what he really, especially for his size. You know what I mean? His size is like, you know what I mean? Like he do a lot. I like him. I like his game.
Yeah, I think he has a lot of upside, man. And that's a typical Brandon Beane draft move that he does, man. By the way, McDuffie Marketing, I know who that is. That is Darren. That's your boy, by the way, right? Your boy showing up, man. I appreciate you, Darren, for hopping on, man. So yeah, man, James Cook has a lot of upside. So what was your thoughts, man, on the preseason game, Drip?
Well, I was bartending while the game was on, so I was just catching glimpses of everything. But like I said, the defense, that shit was impressive. The defense was impressive. It was enjoyable to be able to see us, go from how good we were last season, and like I feel like we, no knock, but I feel like we even better than last season.
Yeah. Oh no.
That's
the truth.
Anybody.
I don't think you're lying.
Right.
I think everyone in this chat room believes that we are better on defense than we were last year, which, why, by the way, we were the number one defense
That's
last year.
So like one
Right.
A now. You know what I mean?
What I thought of the game is exactly what Mikey said, man. Our defense was on point. Basically our second string. We only had one starter going in there, which was Elam, I believe, which is the only starter on defense. And what impressed me with Elam is, man, he's a sticky corner, man. He's a physical sticky corner. Even a play, there was a play that the receiver caught the ball, but he was right on him, and he was upset that he didn't get there early enough. And I thought it was a bang play. Yeah, and he was down on himself, which I kind of like. You know what, man? Like, hey, man, he wants perfection. It seems like he wants to be better, and that's exactly what Brandon Beane, Sean McDermott want on this team, man. They want guys that aren't satisfied with their play. They want to always improve. So it was good to see him. Christian Benford, man. Jeez, dude, this guy came out, and I mean, my God, it was 6th-round pick, right, Mikey?
Yep.
I mean, another late round Brandon Beane stud. I mean, I know it's week 1. I get it, and it's preseason, but he was hyped up in training camp, and then we could say, okay, well, hold the horses. Let's see what he does in preseason, and he balled out on preseason. Right. I think the guy's the real deal, Mikey.
Oh no, I absolutely believe he's going to be the real deal. It's going to be interesting to see how this secondary plays out. You know, knowing Trey's getting ready to come back, and then we have Elam. Dane Jackson didn't even play because they sat all those guys. So we got 4 legit outside corners, and that's not including the best slot corner in the game in Teron Johnson.
Yeah.
So how we're going to see all 4 of those guys rotate in will be very interesting to see how they use them this year.
That's
go ahead, Drip.
No. I was just jump hopping in and out. I definitely like all of those boys. You know what I mean? Because I like aggressive corners. You know what I mean? Like back when we had, 100%. What's your man name? The one with the dreads.
Gilmore.
Say again. What's the one that we had with the dreads a couple years back?
Stephon Gilmore.
Here you go, Gilmore.
Gilmore, okay.
At that point, I wasn't kind of really sold on him, but I feel like when he left us, the way he played, his game just got a lot better, you know what I mean? And I start seeing that game inside of a lot of younger corners now. You know, they want to keep their hands on, you know what I mean? Or not let these boys so far away from him, and I really like that,
Yeah.
Like Jack Johnson, I'm a real fan of them boys.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that we were missing, and Levi Wallace, like I said, I don't hate Levi Wallace, and Mikey knows that. I give him credit for everything he's done being on UDFA, but he wasn't a physical corner. He lacked speed. There was a lot to his game that hurt us. And I think these guys coming in, Benford, Elam, they're just totally different. They're physical at the line. And I don't mind that because, listen, even there was a play there, I think that Benford did. He thought it was going to get called, and it was a little tug at the jersey, but I don't mind that. If you can kind of get away with a little, that happens all the time in the NFL. It's the way you got to do it, how do you position your hands. The referee's not going to always catch that. I don't mind a little physical play if there's a penalty here and there. Now, don't do it all over the place, but you know what I'm saying, Mike.
Yeah, go back to how Baltimore's corners play. If you go look at how the Baltimore Ravens corners play, and even Tampa Bay last year, they were mugging Stephon in the end zone and they didn't get called for it. Mm-hmm. You see a lot of that physical play.
Number 26 for the Ravens? I think it's 26 or 21. Is it?
There's Marcus Peters. There's Humphreys. There's a couple of them. They're always arm checking and grabbing and they get away with it. If you let
the call be made. That's what I'm saying. Us like even last year with that 13 seconds thing. All right, cool. But get a call. I'll take a call versus just what I mean. Just no free wins, man. No free wins.
Make them earn everything they get. Make them earn everything. Every yard, make them earn it.
Chris coming in, who's going to be the number 3 wide receiver / slot? McKenzie or Crowder? I'll go with Mikey first, and then I'll
right now, it's looking like it's McKenzie. Crowder played, McKenzie didn't. I think they know what they have in McKenzie. He's been putting on a fantastic camp. He's been that go-to guy. You have to remember, McKenzie's the longest tenured wide receiver we have.
Since
You know, he's been with Josh since his rookie year.
Yep.
Right.
So, you know, and he's put in a lot of work to not be that gadget guy, to be a full-on receiver. He's put a lot of time in, and you're starting to see it pay off. You saw it last year against the Patriots. If you can do that to a Bill Belichick defense, you can do that to anybody.
100%. Chewy coming in with a super chat. Who was your biggest surprise on offense and defense? Either good surprise or bad. I'll start with you, Mikey.
Surprise, and we'll get into the thumbs up and thumbs down portion of this show. The biggest surprise, I would say Isaiah Hodgins was the biggest surprise for me. To finally see the guy healthy. I was a big Isaiah Hodgins fan coming out. I actually, when he got drafted, and we drafted him and Gabe Davis at the same time, and there was sides being taken. Remember, there was Team Hodgins, Team Davis. I was Team Hodgins. I didn't watch Gabe Davis. I live on the West Coast, so I saw a lot of Beaver games, Oregon State games. So I knew him. I didn't know much about Gabe Davis at the time. So I would say Isaiah Hodgins actually putting it together now that he's been healthy for a season. I'm super excited to see what that guy can bring to our offense.
What about defense?
Defense? Braylon Spector.
You stole my thunder, you son.
I'm sorry, but that dude is a wild man. He just plays so hard with his hair on fire. The guy is just everywhere. He's always around the ball. He doesn't always make the correct read, but he's always around the ball. He might be a second slow, but he's going to be there. And that all the instincts will come with time, understanding the defense and where his spacing and stuff. So I was really impressed with Spector.
So you said good or bad. So I'm gonna go bad on offense. I'm gonna say Case Keenum. I get the offensive line was kind of not letting them down at time to time, but we still had a bad offensive line coming in third string for Matt Barkley, and Matt Barkley played actually pretty damn good, considering that I am not a Barkley fan. So I got to say, Case Keenum, that was a little head scratching how bad he played, because I didn't like the way he stepped up in the pocket and threw it. He looked off balance.
There was no stepping up. There was zero room for him to step up.
He did step up a few times. He was throwing off his like back foot, kind of like there was the one interception that I don't know what he was doing there. There was a lot of bad play. I'm not saying it was all his fault, but some of the throws were like, ugh. Now,
some of the decisions
were just, and like I said, it's the first week, no problem, but that needs to get better, because I'll tell you what, if week 2 comes around, Mikey, and he continues to play like that, then we're really going to be sitting here talking about who's the backup quarterback, because I thought Keenum for sure won that. I'm just saying, if Matt Barkley has another better game, the Case Keenum, the next 2 weeks, you're still relying on Case Keenum as the backup?
Absolutely. Casey Keenum was playing with second and third string. So we had a third string right tackle. Matt Barkley was playing against third and fourth string guys. You can't compare apples to oranges.
Okay, but I'm asking you, for the next 2 weeks, if he continues to suffer, you're going to continue to say that's okay? That's like saying Nate Peterman would be okay.
No.
If playing week 1, week 2, week 3.
No, you're making a overall assumption. You have to.
No, I'm not. I'm asking you a hypothetical.
Okay, hypothetical. Does he have second versus second, and he struggles like that? Then yes, you would want to look at something different. If he's going third and fourth string guys versus first string guys like he was, then you can't evaluate.
But moving forward, as we all know, it won't be like that for the next 2 games. Or not. He's always not going to go against first team starters. I mean, chances are slim. It could happen.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, more than likely, he will be going against their backup.
I can almost guarantee you Casey Keenum will look better next week.
I hope so. Listen, Mike, I hope so, because his career
over his career. The whole thing. He's a lot better than what he showed. But you got to kind of go with what he had in front of him. He made some bad throws, some bad decisions.
Yeah.
I have faith in him. I have faith in him.
On defense, I'm just gonna go with what Mikey said, because that was initially Benford was just I'm not Benford. Spector was just all over the place, and I mean he was just everywhere. I heard his name called like so many times. So play after play after play, he was involved. And I love to see that. And so does the coach. And he'll make the team playing that way. Drip, I guess I'll ask you the same question, man. Who was the guys that shined for you or didn't shine for you? Surprise on offense, defense, good or bad?
So I didn't catch a lot of the game, but I will piggyback on the fact that I definitely heard what's the name you just said? What number do he got? What number does he have?
You talking about Spectre?
Yes, him. I definitely heard his name a lot. I didn't see the whole first half. I just know that they had kept the first string in. So specifically, I'm just gonna stick with, because I'm not that sold on our whole team as a whole. I'm not gonna get on there and lie like that. So I do a lot of dirty talking in the barbershop. So
hey, it's all good, man.
I'm gonna keep it safe and just say that I want to see what Cook brings to our run game from that backfield. Like I want, because we did. I mean, I like Singletary. I don't love him. I like him. And I feel like our run game, from us implementing our run game this season, I want to see how that parallels with us throwing the ball. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like as long as we got that extra edge, then we should be going to the Super Bowl. So I'm just going to stick with safely saying, I'm going to leave the defense alone. You know what I mean? Like I said, I love the boys over there, but I'm going to just leave them alone right now. And hopefully we are that 1A defense that's on top of the defense that we had last season. And I'm just going to stick on the offensive side and say that Cook is going to bring that run game to another level,
I hope so. I do. He didn't show much, I'll be honest with you, which we'll get into later.
His whole 4 carries. Yeah, he sure didn't show much in his 4 touches.
Yeah. But maybe that's because they didn't give him a lot of – you got to remember, too, and I heard a lot of people talking, about Ken Dorsey's play calling. It's it's a preseason. This is as basic Tecmo Bowl as you're going to get. So don't go by what you're seeing play calling in preseason. It's not what we're going to be implementing in regular season. It's just not, okay? It's very, very basic. There was, matter of fact, I didn't see any, Mikey, correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't see any kind of trick plays, anything, gadgets. I saw nothing, but I
saw a few motions where Khalil Shakir was leading up through the whole. I saw a little bit of the Rams type of offense, the run game, where they use Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp to do leads and cracks and things like that. I saw a little bit of that, and that's an Aaron Cromer thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was excited to see that. But from an actual trick play, no, it was a very vanilla offense.
Vanilla. Yeah, very vanilla, very basic. Not trying to get anybody hurt, just trying
play
to
action,
run through
boots, shorts, slants, stops, things like that. Nothing major.
If you think Ken Dorsey's going to show his cards in week 1, the preseason, you're absolutely out of your mind. It's just not going to happen. So, but the important thing is we still won. I hate losing I don't know about you. I know it doesn't matter. And I get that because I still would have been fine. But I still hate losing, as a Bills fan, even as a preseason. So I was still super happy we won. What about you, Mikey? Were you still hey, we won?
Yeah, no, you know what I was more excited about was the situation.
Yes.
The situation they were in. We got to see what Matt Araiza looked like holding in a pressure situation, game winner. I knew Bass would make the kick because he usually does.
Right.
He's about as money as they come right now. But seeing Araiza in that situation, having him a chance to get that, those game reps, because McDermott talked about in his post game, they can put as many situations like that in the practice, but it's different inside of a game when a whole other team's bearing down on you. 100%. He knows his defense isn't going to run him over. If the other team gets a chance to take out the holder, they're going to take out the holder. It's a lot different, and it was like clockwork. So I was excited about those type of things. We got to see the 2-minute drill. Matt Barkley ran a fantastic 2-minute drill. So Powell made a couple great catches. Hodgins made a couple great catches. So we got to see some of those young guys in those situations. I was more excited about that than the actual outcome of the game, because you can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't practice. I mean, you can practice those things, but you can't really get that game experience and those live bullets coming at you unless they're inside games like that.
By the way, Chewy, you're right. And I tweeted this. I tweeted this right away. Mikey's going to disagree, but I tweeted this right away. Listen, I know he still has work to do. 100%. We can't get super excited yet, but his first punt, just like Mikey was saying, on the hold, you still will get a little nervous. You still got guys flying at you. He boomed it 82 yards, right? That was a very good kick. And regardless if the net was 60, okay, I'll take it.
62, net 62.
Right, exactly. I'll take it.
He flipped the field.
Yeah, all the extra points were solid. That right? The two. The long field goal hold, which by the way, it's a long field goal.
He had 2 field goal holds, 2 extra points. So all 4 were perfect.
And he was in there for every hold. So there's a reason for that. Like they could have had Hawk in there, like holding a couple.
They're switching games right now.
Yeah. But there's no reason to have. My point is, we know Hawk's a good holder.
Yeah.
There's no point. I know. It's the punting. It's really boils down to the punting for Hawk, and he's a veteran. I think we know who Hawk is. The question is, who's punt guy? Like can he continue to do these good punts, angle punts, high punts, continue to hold the ball properly for Bass? And if he does that, I think for sure, and I still think for sure that Hawk is gone. There's no reason to keep him around. He will be cut by the end of preseason. Maybe not now. It's too early now. Not going to do it now. But Hawk will be cut.
Yeah. Ooh.
100. Huh?
No, I just said, oh.
Did you say, are you a Hawk fan? Are you? Where is your Hawk? Where is your Hawk jersey, Drip?
I'll tell you. Here's why I don't think the competition's over. Hawk's first punt came from just outside the 50, and he put it down to the 13. Ariza has a big leg. We knew that coming in. So seeing him boot at 82 yards wasn't a big surprise to me. I want to see him kick it from where Hawk kicked it and see if he can get that hang time and put it down inside the 10-yard line.
Right.
I think that's the next step. He's now don't get me wrong. He's checking these boxes off each time he goes out there. He checked off the boxes for holding. He checked off the boxes. Can he flip the field? When the offense struggles. Check. So now it comes down to can he get those angle punts and get them inside when he doesn't have that long field?
I'll tell you what I like to see too. I think Bass and him are having a connection. Like I kind of can read that. They seem like they're really gelling as like a unit, and that's really, really good to see. Because those two need to, like, those guys got to be best friends. It's kind of like Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, right? Like best friends. Like he's your holder. Like you guys need to be buddies, man. That room is small. Think about it. It's Ferguson, right? The long snapper, the kicker, and the punter. It's 3 guys, man. They should be going out to dinner, talking special teams. And I think, like I said, Mikey, I understand what you're saying. I think we want to see him in different situational punts, and you're going to see that. And once he proves that, and he might even go through some bumps and bruises along the way. He might have a bad kick.
He's going to. Bass did his rookie year too. Like 100%. even after he won the competition. I mean, I think some of that was on Bojo, the way he was holding the ball. But for the most part, and Chewy, I know it's about the money, but we also know how McDermott and Bean do things. No rookie's given anything. You earn everything on this team. So they're going to want to see him check those boxes before they cut his competition.
I do want to go over, guys. We did have 4 cuts. Offensive lineman Derek Kerstetter, tight end Jalen Weidemeyer, offensive line Jordan Simmons, and cornerback Elijah Griffin. Got cut. Any surprise? Yeah, the regulator, Warren G's son. Too bad because I didn't mind his game. I thought, I think something happened during mini camp. I think he just wasn't. He was having a bad camp to start. They were saying, and I just think maybe this.
I was surprised to see. I mean, he didn't have a good game. He's actually on the thumbs down list because he struggled in the game. However, he was already claimed by the Giants. Imagine that. He ended up in New York.
Imagine that. Wow, that's such a shocker.
Right? So
man.
He was gonna struggle making this team anyways. knowing how deep we are. I mean, we listed off 4 outside corners already that we're going to have trouble finding time for. And that's not including a Cam Lewis who's played fantastic that we may not be able to have room for that make it cut.
I know. And Cam did play really good. Bobby Hart survived the first. Yeah, he always survives the first cut. I have no idid why. He'll be cut though. Trust me. He'll be cut and he'll be brought right back. I don't know why. There's something about the Bobby Hart thing. It's weird, man. Like they will bring him back.
It's not just the Bills though.
No,
he always finds his way onto a roster somewhere.
I don't know how, man. But hey, real quick, I forgot to ask you, Drip. Do you have any like superstitions that you do before the game? Like, do you wear a certain jersey or anything?
All right, so whatever I start off doing unconsciously, I just don't never change it from there. So I'll remember last week, all right, I didn't do this. I'm not going to do that, because I be emotionally invested into these games. So it's just, if whatever I start off the season is doing, I just won't, won't do it.
And then one more question. How long did it take for you to talk about the
we don't talk about that, Tommy.
We don't
talk about that.
For a couple weeks. That conversation had to wait a couple weeks.
Dude, I had to painfully go live.
I was in the bar, ready to leave. Automatically started my car and was ready to leave out the door. I didn't give a damn about the last load. And then
I know
it took you longer to get.
Yeah, my brother called me, and after Josh threw the touchdown, he called me. He's like, "Oh, dude, you're over." I'm like, I'm a Bills fan. It ain't over until I see zeros.
Same way,
sure as hell.
Yep.
And then he didn't call me again. He texted me. He said, "I'm sorry."
Man, you talking about some hurtful stuff?
It was bad. That was really. But the good news is we are back, and we are pissed. We are pissed. We are built up again.
Actually, I like what we've done. Like this offseason, we we retooled that defensive line, and it's where I think we really struggled last year. It was to close it out because we got a lot of we were able to get a lot of pressure. We couldn't get the quarterback down. And so what would happen is our DNs would collapse in, but we didn't get a lot of outside of Oliver. We didn't get a lot of push up the middle from the guys.
Correct.
So seeing Jordan Phillips come back, seeing Tim settle and the monster that guy is, seeing Daquan Jones, who's a legit one tech, come in, and then bringing in Von Miller and having those other guys and Rousseau taking the next step. I have a feeling our defense is just going to be nasty this year.
And Ed Oliver looking like a complete savage in camp so far.
It's funny to say Tremaine. Why you ain't put Tremaine in there?
Tremaine?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't play on the D-line.
Are you talking about the D-line?
Like, it's a part of that defense, though.
Oh,
and a hole?
A hole, absolutely. Tremaine's the leader of that defense. He's the play caller.
Dang.
I am a huge Tremaine Edmonds fan. I'm not one of the ones that are out there thinking that we can just let the man go. I think we need to pay the man. He's a big piece of what we do. And people don't realize stats don't tell the whole story of how football games played. He has such a long wingspan. He's such a big guy. He closes down lanes.
You don't think he has a tackling issue?
I think it's getting better year over year. Like he was better last year than he was the year before that, and he's better the year before that than he was the year before that. So you constantly see him getting a little bit better every year.
You want to answer that, Drip? Chewy coming in saying, "What's the word in the barbershop about the record this year?"
All right, so listen, you got your 13-4 guys, you got your 14-3 guys, but then you got Drip. 12-5, I'm super happy about, but I'm not upset if we did 11-6 with the way that our schedule is set up. Just being realistic, like just being realistic. I'm not upset.
I think 11-6 would be the floor. I think 14-3 is the ceiling.
There you go. So we fit anywhere in between that is a. I'm cool.
So Drip, we did a what was it, about maybe 2 months ago, Mikey? We did the schedule and
the way too early schedule prediction.
and I
Tell me we're 20-0 and winning the
for
Super
the
Bowl.
first time ever. And I swear to God, everyone knows me, knows I am not that homer guy. Like, I keep it real. I'll tell you what I don't like, what I like. But I winded up saying undefeated, baby. Like, I don't know what it was. And I feel it. I feel it.
I ranged between the 13-4 and the 12-5. I was the more realistic. Like, dude, our schedule is a gauntlet.
It's a gauntlet. It's almost like a setup. It's almost like a setup. Real quick though. Let me ask the question.
Yeah, go for it.
Why don't we ever just shake shit up? Excuse my language. Why don't we ever shake stuff up, bro? Like, why don't we go for the Odell when he's a free agent? Not this season because he's hurt. You know what I mean? He's recovering. But like, we get the Julio Joneses. You know what I mean? Like, why don't we just shake shit up?
We did. Von Miller.
So Von
of his career, and that's what we always satisfy with other in their career.
Okay, so I'll talk to Von Miller real quick, Mikey. So the Von Miller signing was as much as the Chandler Jones, right? They pretty much got paid on the same kind of level. It's a 3-year deal. So Von Miller, if you saw what he did last year, he's still playing at a pretty decently high level when he's needed. The playoffs, he was solid. I think he has like a record or tied with the record for sacks in the playoffs for Super Bowl. So he was. That's something that the Bills.
I think the other guy.
Good as our. Yeah. So too. So for as good as our defense was last year, we all know the number one issue, right? Getting to the quarterback when it counted, right? That Chiefs game, it just was not happening. It could not happen, and that's why McDermott played it safe and Frazier played it safe because they just couldn't. They knew maybe we didn't have the personnel. Maybe Von Miller doesn't only bring the juice on defense, but he brings experience to that locker room, right? So you got guys like Gregory Rousseau who's still learning, right? Who's going to be an absolute beast, by the way.
I love
from the U, dude. I'm telling you, what other better guy to look up to ask questions than one of the best to do it, Von Miller. Right. Then you got Ed Oliver next to him, who's another guy who's gonna be a beast. I think he hasn't reached the ceiling yet. What better guy to have him beside him than Von Miller, right? Tim Settle, same thing, young guy, still on the. So there's a lot to take into that signing, and that was a signing that nobody saw coming. So that was a splash signing because typically Brandon Beane, since he's been here, besides the trade, he hasn't really gone out and make this huge signing. That Von Miller signing was the first splash signing. Now, the Stephon Diggs was a trade, and that kind of was a big splash trade, but it wasn't a signing. Now, you want to bring up Odell. Odell's interesting, and I still think he could be in the mix, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of chatter going on, but it wouldn't be till down the road. Mm-hmm. So right now, with the locker room we got, the guys we got in place, especially on offense, let's say, we'll start there. So we got Stephon Diggs. No receiver out there I want him to go out and pay for right now. We have Stephon Diggs. Then you got a guy, Gabriel Davis, who's going to be a stud. You're going to have to figure out how to pay him next, right? Because Gabriel Davis, he balls out this year. We're going to have to figure something out because he's going to go somewhere else. He'll be that stud. And then, yeah, that's a problem, right? So if he turns out to be what we expect, then you got two stud receivers, right? You can't have – I would love for them to just go out and buy everybody. But unfortunately, this isn't baseball. There's a cap, right? So you gotta play with the numbers. You got to re-sign your guys. You got to draft well, which that's what they've been doing. And if you look at the team, we have a very young core guys that all have potential and a big ceiling and are still on rookie deals. Mikey, go ahead, man. I know you're dying.
I just want to go into what Drip was saying. I actually kind of agree with him to an extent. Because yes, Von Miller's on the back end of his career. He's like, why haven't we gone out and got the Carl Lawsons that was out there last year, or gone out this year before we signed Von Miller? Why didn't we go get Khalil Mack when he was available?
Come on, now you talking about
Mack? Yeah.
You know, so the J.C. Jacksons that were out there. So I know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I will tell you, a lot of it goes back to Bean and McDermott, and they've talked about this a lot. It goes back to Bean and McDermott. What happened in Carolina the year after they went to the Super Bowl, blew that team up, and then they were dog crap the next year. And they want to keep the core together as much as possible. So I would have preferred us to use that draft, picks to go out and bring Khalil Mack home.
Come on.
But you're telling me we were able to sign Von Miller and still use that draft pick to grab a James Cook? Would you trade Von Miller and James Cook for Khalil Mack right now?
Hell yeah.
I wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't. Khalil Mack has been injured every year for the last 3 years. Since he signed that big deal, he's gotten hurt every year.
He's declined for a little bit. I don't think he's a bad player.
No, he's a fantastic player.
Yeah, don't get it mixed up. But he's declining because, once again, we talk about the Bruce Smith thing. When you get to a certain part of your career, it's very hard to stay healthy. It's very hard to stay healthy and stay good, like continue to be like a force on the field, like while you're battling injury. So that's where it gets tricky with the whole signing these guys, because let's say you go get him and he's injured. He plays half the season. Then the money starts getting to be really tricky, right? But listen, we took a chance on Von Miller and he's been hurt too. So I get it. I totally do. The only thing I would say with Brandon Beane, the only thing I ever really kind of got not mad about, but frustrated, was he is a stickler with trades in season. And I kind of felt like twice now before we hit the playoffs, there was potential to go out and get a guy to push
like Von
us to
Miller
that
last year.
Exactly. So Von Miller, Odell, when they went to the Rams, that was their push, right? Even the Chiefs, they went out, did some trades in the middle of the season.
Yeah, they went
helped
and got
their defense.
the DN. I can't
guy
remember his name.
From San Diego.
Ingram.
Yeah. Melvin
Ingram. He was a problem for us.
100%. So it kind of felt like he is a stickler when it comes to trades. Like that I hope, like, when we're coming up to the playoff run and there is a guy out there on the market, if it's worth it, I hope he does eventually squeeze that trigger, because sometimes it is worth it. But I will go back to this. 6th-round picks are balling out. And that's kind of why he is sometimes tight on his picks, because Christian Benford. So let's
can't win the lotto if you don't got the ticket.
Exactly.
And that's his mindset.
Exactly.
One more question.
Shakir or Benford. Go ahead.
One more question. And this is a barbershop topic that I kind of bring up.
We love barbershop.
Our
got a segment.
Our offensive core right now, compared to the offensive core that we had, I'm gonna just go with the Robert Wood, Sammy Watkins, just that y'all remember that whole core.
Yeah.
Like we had Stephon Gilmore on the other side.
Freddie.
Oh my God.
Fred Jackson in the backfield.
Come on. Yo, like remember that core? That was a solid ass core. You know what I mean? I just feel like, and we didn't even play as good as we playing now. I think back then. I think we had won like the first 5 games and then we just blew everything after that. I just feel
we
like
had no quarterback.
There's 2 things we didn't have. We didn't have a coach
or a quarterback.
Because it takes a lot. Like, so you guys know, like Mikey know, like it all starts from the top, right? Like, so the ownership, the GM, and then the coaching staff, they all got to link together. It's like a chain, right? You can have a good GM in place, but you got a shitty coach, then that link ain't connected. It's done. It's a wrap, right? So so exactly. So maybe Dermott, Bung, and Bean, they were tight. They already had like a goal in mind. They were on the same page, right? It was their guys. It was and the ownership said, "Hey, do what you got to do." Right. And then from there on that, if you look at the team, how it's every season excelled, right? Every season the draft's gotten better, right? What did Brandon Beane came and do? Right away, Mikey, right? He cut people, got rid of people, traded people, started fresh, man, right? Got good players in this locker room that wanted to be here, that had a high ceiling, drafted guys that nobody really wanted. The Josh Allen, a lot of people were hating on, right? He drafted him anyways, right? There was a lot of guys that teams didn't want to draft, and Brandon Beane continues to do that. And he
So
continues
anyway,
to win.
I want to answer Drip's question.
Go ahead. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
want to answer Drip's question. So, core versus our core today. I think I would take our core today for two reasons. One, our quarterback, Josh Allen, because he wasn't part of that core. Also, from a receiver standpoint, I think Diggs and Davis and McKenzie are better than the core of Watkins and Robert Woods and whoever our third one is at the time.
Goodwin was on that core too. You sure?
Who was?
Marquise Goodwin.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I would take our
Track
core
star.
today. I would take our core today over that core. However, I think the running backs is where that core really wins. When you had Freddie and Spiller and those guys, Marshawn,
Shady.
Shady, like that was the running backs during that year. I think Shady was part of that final core that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I would take if we could take that core of running backs and stick it with this core that we have today, the offense would be almost unstoppable.
Well, same goes for the line though too, Mikey.
Just like you guys know.
Yeah, because you look at that line then too. You're right, because we had Wood and Richie and Dawkins, and I think Jordan Mills was our right tackle, and even then he was looking good because he was next to, was next to some All Pros. So
Marcel.
Yeah. And then on the defense side, we had the Williams brothers and Marcel and Jerry and Zoe, and the core was
it was fun.
What they were missing was the culture we have today and the quarterback. If you could take Josh and stick him on that team,
and a coach, proper
Shady's
coach.
My running back
to develop him because
Shady's one of my favorite all-time running backs.
Yeah, listen, if Josh was on that, if Josh was on that team, I don't know if Josh would be Josh. Like he might have been miscoached. I'm dead serious. It took Josh Allen fell into a perfect situation when he came here. Perfect, like with and guys that knew how to.
Guys that had patience with him. I feel like these coaches. I feel like McDermott had patience with Josh because
100%.
Josh first got here. It wasn't. He didn't make me comfortable. I'll be honest. He never looked comfortable to me at first when he first got here. I kind of felt like he always was kind of like on eggshells because, certain moments like with the throwing the ball away type thing, holding the ball too long and stuff like that. It's just you just never see his comfortability. But I feel like now where he's at now, especially last season, he just dogged.
Went to another level.
Yeah, he just bucked it the whole.
I think he showed you maturity.
Yeah, right. You have to remember,
a lot of maturity.
Josh's talents didn't fit the system that we put him in. Like that was more of a Tom Brady system, that short check downs, those type of things. Josh Allen's a big arm guy, was more of a wide open. He would have fit better in like the Cliff Kingsbury offense.
Quick.
So what?
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll get to it. So what McBean and what Dermott and Bean did was they said, okay, we're gonna be patient with this guy. We're gonna teach him the fundamentals, and we're gonna surround him with veteran guys and playmakers and bring him along. They committed to him very early, and stuck with the process. And also helps that Josh is a internal guy. Like we could talk all the crap we want about him. There's no one harder on Josh than Josh.
Right.
And he talks about that.
You can see that. Yeah, you can see that.
So, would I think would he have excelled elsewhere? I do think he would have excelled elsewhere because of his internal way he builds up. I don't know if the other teams would have been giving him as much time as the Bills gave him. And we saw what happened with Darnold and with the Jets. If he would have went to the Jets, Josh may not have been who he was because they didn't surround him with anybody. Yeah, he might have been
even Arizona.
Yeah,
I mean Arizona didn't give Rosen, even though Rosen's probably not.
They canned him after the first year.
They canned him out right. Yeah. Real quick, Mikey, Chewy coming in. What win do you guys want the most here? I'm gonna quick start off by saying all of them. Go ahead, Mikey.
The win I want the most, the Super Bowl win. That's the one I want the most.
Which is all of them. All right, good.
I just want the Super Bowl. Really.
Ishmael, what's going on?
This is gonna sound weird. Thanks
for coming on,
man. The Bengals. I want us to beat the Bengals. I am so sick of hearing about Joe Burrow and how he's the second coming of Tom Brady. I want Josh to just squish them. Go out there.
Yep.
It's a primetime game under the lights. I think it's in Cincinnati. I want to go there and just bury them.
I agree. I'm good with that. I'm good with that too. Izzy, by the way, new. I don't think I've ever seen you. It goes by Izzy, I believe. Ishmael. Josh did a lot of work by himself. Yeah, bro, 100%. Mikey touched base with that, and I say it all the time too. Josh is a tough critic on himself, man, and he puts the work in. He puts the work in off season when he doesn't need to. I think it all started with that mechanic thing that he corrected.
Mm-hmm.
It really kind of started from there, and then Jordan Palmer thing, obviously, and working with, and then Ken Dorsey coming in was, to me, I'm going to say, was the cherry on the top. That Ken Dorsey, that's why I think he's going to be an awesome coordinator. I just think they're on same wavelength. They're just so they see each other. They know each other. He's a former quarterback. Like,
I want to know what Drips. I want to know what Drips. One game that he wants us to get the win. What opponent this year do you want the win from?
I definitely want to beat Cincinnati. That Burrows and Jamar Chase shit is like a whole. Like, I argue over that in the shop. Well, first of all, you know what I really want? I definitely want to beat the Rams for sure. Like, one, we better beat them. Like, to me, that's the game that solidifies us coming out. Like, we not taking no shit, nothing. We coming out and we stepping on necks immediately.
Yep.
And, you got, the cheetah over there on that other side now. So I definitely want to, beat the cheetah.
The fish.
Man,
the
definitely.
Fish.
But the cheetah, Jamar Chase and company, and the Rams.
The Titans too. We owe the Titans.
They always play us tough.
We owe the Titans.
That is
I
a
feel like
revenge
they
game.
have our number every time we played them. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was the stiff arm he gave Josh Norman, but it seemed like they all
bad juju after that.
Yo, for real, it's like, damn. But yeah, the Titans too. But I'm really not too worried about them. I feel like our thing is moments. I feel like our losses comes in moments. It's not the whole game that we play. It's that moment that just
100%.
Josh slips on 4th and 1.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, 13 seconds.
Houston lost in the playoffs. I feel like it was just that one moment.
Matt Milano bounces off of Deshaun Watson. Like, really? I've never seen that guy bounce off of anybody.
Bro.
Just bounce off of him.
The corner, that's what he do. He come off the corner. It was just that moment. It was just like, I feel like if we just.
But it's been that way for forever. Let's be real, right?
For the last.
That curse will be broken when we win the Super Bowl. Okay, everything will be behind us as far as the moments, bad moments in Buffalo Bills history. Mikey, I do want to get into the thumbs up, thumbs down section. So let's start with the thumbs up.
Thumbs up. So from offense, and I'll let you guys let me know what you guys think. So thumbs up on offense. I have Khalil Shakir, went out and balled as a rookie. Thumbs up. Definitely a thumbs up.
100%.
Isaiah Hodgins, another one. He had 9 catches out of 11 targets. Raheem Blackshear. I will tell you, Blackshear, that guy impressed the hell out of me. He can play special teams, and he brought a lot of energy. He reminded me so much of Antonio Williams last year. That extra, want. And then Matt Barkley rounds out my thumbs up. I thought Matt Barkley was, knew where to go with the ball, got the offense moving. I mean, yes, he did play against 3rd and 4th stringers, but he was playing with 3rd and 4th stringers too. Was really impressed with how Barkley moved the ball.
Scott, not sure if Vaughn will play super aggressive. See, I think he will. I think Vaughn's on it. Vaughn's on a mission. Vaughn's on a mission. He knows what he wants. He wants to show
he wants to be the first one with 3 Super Bowl rings on 3 teams.
Listen, man, he's definitely. I don't think he's coming out with anything but what Von Miller brings. Like, there's only one speed Von Miller goes.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah.
I would be more, if you said that about Denver, I still would say no. but I could be like, okay, he was there for a long time. LA 1 year, nah. What does
loves
he
those
care?
guys. He loves
He
those
loves
guys.
those guys, but he does. But listen, he was there 1 season. It's defense versus offense. So how
He wants to show why he left. He's going to want to show them why he left. He's not going to go in there and play half-assed.
No.
He's going to go in there and try to smash
100%.
Stafford into the ground and show why
100%.
he left. And that because he was there is part of the reason why they have that ring. If they come out and he lets them just walk all over him, was Von Miller really part of the reason why we got the ring, or was it, he wants to show him?
Yeah. No, I don't. I just don't think it's in his DNA to go to another level, like down. He's like there's certain players, man. I'm telling you, man. They just go one speed, and I think that's Von Miller. That's not what he does. I don't see him going soft, like giving it somewhat of an effort. Like, trust me, I think people would know. His teammates would know. They know what Von Miller brings. If he brings a half-ass performance, you don't think teammates are going to look around and be like, bro, this ain't Von. You know what I mean? Come on. I just don't see that happen. Von's going to be Von.
He's a competitor. Von's a competitor.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who he lines up against.
I agree. Yep. When you a dog, you a dog. So
yeah,
exactly. That's it. That's what he is, man. 100% well said, Drip.
Yeah. Defense, Kyer Elam, thumbs up.
Oh, 100%.
Christian Benford, thumbs up.
Yes, sir.
Braylon Spector, thumbs up.
Oh, dude.
Tim Settle. Did you guys? I don't know if you guys saw what Tim Settle did. He manhandled Quentin Nelson. He had that dude rocking back, arms in the air, like, Cover One put out a clip. Oh, it was pretty. Mike Love.
Oh,
bringing the energy. Mike Love.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
Here, man.
And then on special teams, my 2 thumbs up, I had Tyler Bass and the punt guy, Matt Ariza. I thought they both were money.
Oh, 100%. Yep. 100%.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
So do we want to get into thumbs down?
Yeah, go for it. Thumbs down.
All right. Thumbs down. Offensive line. The offensive line.
Bad.
The whole first.
It was bad. I will tell you, looking at the PFF's offensive line, right? So you all know who got a decent grade? Tommy Doyle. He played left tackle and then he kicked into left guard, but he only played 30 plays.
Yeah.
Cody Ford played 14 plays. Once those 2 guys exited, it was all bad after that.
Cody.
Bobby Hart got one of the worst grades. I don't even know if he registered on the PFF chart. It was so bad. I mean, it was bad. I think he got like a 43.
That's expected.
He had a 7.6 pass blocking grade. 7.6 out of 100.
Yeah, he.
I've
seen it. I saw what I wanted to see last preseason.
He never even put his hand up.
Yeah. You want to know who actually showed out pretty well on the offensive line? Was Tanner Owen. He played right tackle, but when in the last few drives, he played 16 or 36 plays right tackle. He actually played well. We flipped Luke Tenuta from right tackle to left tackle, and he got beat on both sides. He had a bad grade. Ooh. So the O-line most definitely got a thumbs down. Other thumbs down, Case Keenum.
Cool.
Scott Blakely, I see you, brother.
There's 20 of them. If I had,
I'm not going to give him 20. I look at his situation.
I have 4 hands. I give him 4.
Scott Blakely and Daniel Garge were talking earlier, and they were talking about how that situation doesn't cause him to throw the ball high. He was off, and I do agree. And then also Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson averaged 1.7 yards per carry, and he ran with the same O-line that Blackshear was running behind, and Blackshear just looked better. Duke Johnson just didn't look good in the backfield. He looked fantastic as a special team returner.
100%. I was just about to tell you that.
He looked great returning the ball.
Yeah, even though he's on the thumbs down, and that's something maybe I want to get into
from the backfield. He's on thumbs down from the running back.
Yeah, for the backfield. But I will say, out of that punt return, that we're right now, because that's what it is right now. It's kind of a competition. So
he didn't do much on the punt returns. His kickoff return.
Yeah, but I thought even the punt. I thought the kick return was solid. He didn't make any mistakes. He had a good, and I thought the punt return he was safe too. I didn't see Blackshear did good on the punt returns as well.
Yep.
And Khalil Shakir, and kick return. I thought Khalil Shakir, though he didn't do anything spectacular, he was safe with it.
He reminds me so much. The way he returns punts reminds me so much Micah Hyde. He's so sure-handed, and if it's blocked right, he's gonna break one. If it's not, then the chances are he's not gonna create for himself back there.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before we went live. I would still love to see Marquez Stevenson get an opportunity.
He just had surgery today. We don't know when he's gonna be back. He had foot surgery.
That's
this poor guy, man. He
Speed.
can't. By the way, yeah. By the way, if you don't know, guys, that's Drip's boy. Drip actually did a little interview with him. So yeah, what's going on with Marquez, man? Since you got the little inside scoop, how's he feeling, man?
I haven't talked to him today, but you know what I mean, I'll be sure to check on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let us know, man.
Hey,
I hope he's in good spirits still, man. I know he.
And that's
I know
a
it's been
tough thing, man. So, like,
Yeah, he hurt that foot in practice, and he was having a great return from the they said he was looking good in the special teams.
So what is his ankle, or he broke his foot?
It's his foot.
Right.
Maybe a bone break in there or something.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened to him. I just saw that he underwent surgery for his foot. He left.
Man, that's tough. That's
yeah.
tough.
He was it the blue and red game that happened, or was it right before the blue and red game? I can't remember.
I wonder if they put him on if they
it.
keep him.
It was right before.
I wonder if they keep him. You think they keep him around the pup? Maybe
pup IR.
IR.
McDermott talked about it a little bit today.
I think they keep him. You know what I mean? And
why not, man? He's
solid.
a rookie still.
He's explosive.
Funny thing about him, he has one, because I love highlight reels.
Mm-hmm.
He has one of the best highlight tapes I've ever seen.
Him and Tavon Austin.
Yeah.
Tavon Austin's the same way. Him and Tavon
What happened? Is Austin okay? I didn't see him in the game at all either.
No, he didn't play. He was they called it general soreness. Is what they're calling everything this year.
I would love to see him back there too. I hope he gets it. I hope he gets an opportunity in preseason.
Okay, yeah, I did hear that.
Because I was excited to see. I'll be honest with you. At first, I was like, he probably won't make the team. But then I loved his energy when he came to camp. I loved it. Like, he was like a spark plug. And he has experience in the punt return, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he loves.
He's the most experienced punt returner we have on our team.
Yeah, I would love to see him in I hope he has an opportunity, because I'm telling you, Mikey, if he doesn't, making the roster slim, very slim, bro. I'll be honest with you.
Whitetown comes in and asks a question. He says, was Jaden Weidenmeyer looking bad at camp, or was he not getting enough reps? He was looking bad at camps. Matter of fact, it got so bad that they pulled him off the field during the game and put in OJ Howard in the 2 tight end sets from a blocking standpoint, and then he was one of the first people released recently.
He's just a stiff. He was a stiff player, man.
Yeah,
he
Weidenmeyer just did what
yeah.
You have to remember, our offense is very complicated as well. If you listen to anybody talk about it, it's an extremely complex offense that you have to learn, and he just wasn't catching up. So let's move into the thumbs down on the defense.
Yeah.
Elijah Griffin.
Yep.
He was released. Josh Thomas had a horrible rating. And I put Shaq Lawson on there only for the fact of he had about 16 plays, and I did not even notice him.
That's my boy too.
I love Shaq. I was so excited he was back. I just, I saw AJ Epinesa flash. I saw Boogie Basham flash. I didn't see anything out of Shaq at all.
Quiet.
I didn't even realize he played until I looked up.
Neither did I. Neither did I.
I think he's a solid keep, though.
Oh no, I
do too, Mike.
I think he's our 5th D end.
I do too.
Where you're going to find Shaq is probably the most. You're going to see him really pop up against those run defenses. He's such a great run defender. Remember how when we played Baltimore and we brought in Trent Murphy all the time, and he set the edge and Lamar struggled.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq is a souped up version of Trent Murphy who gives you some pass rush. as well.
Right. Yeah.
You know, he's about as solid as they come. I don't think he's not gonna make the team because he's gonna be in the rotation. He's that veteran. He also brings an attitude that our D line doesn't, or that room doesn't have.
Right.
He brings that nasty that we
He's a
need.
gangster on the edge.
Yeah, exactly.
Mikey,
he brings that nasty.
You want to answer Scott's question here about OJ Howard? Because man, he looked he didn't do much.
No, OJ, yes.
And I'm all for him.
I'll tell you, OJ's gonna make the roster just from a contract perspective.
100%.
It'll cost us just as much to release him as it's gonna cost us to keep him.
100%. I still think he has upside. Bro, he was a freak in college. He's a freak now. He's a freak athlete. Like OJ Howard, he's a freak athlete. I just don't know if he is there yet with the offense. Like that may be the problem. I don't know if he's catching on. And I hope he does, because the regular season is right around the corner.
And I want to go to Izzy's comment in here. He says, I don't know. Mike Love looked great. Mike Love looked great on pass defenses. He struggled against the run. If you go back and look at his overall grade, it was very low. He is fantastic on the pass rush. Mike Love struggles against the run.
Yeah, he brought in a lot of energy though. I
would take Shaq Lawson over Mike Love 10 times out of 10 times.
It's close, but I agree. I would take Shaq. I would definitely take Shaq Lawson. I think Shaq Lawson, he's a vet as well. He knows the system. He also brings
that nasty to that room.
100%.
Him and Jordan Phillips have this weird chemistry, and when they get together, they just bring that out of the guys.
I think you'll see. I think you'll see more.
He actually like the post too. So
I think you're going to see more of Shaq Lawson these next two. Like you'll see a little better performance. You'll see his name get called. It was the first game. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I think this is more about the rookies, man. I'll be honest with you. I think some of these vets were just out there, limited. They just were, playing through the motions. They're going to bring it when it counts. I think Shaq Lawson will bring it when it counts, and that's a regular season. Mm-hmm. Though you want to see something. Maybe you see something in the next game when we're going against the ones, in the first quarter, 2 quarter, you know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Ahead, Mike Love ranked the lowest, by the way. As he said, he didn't see the run grade. He was the lowest run grade defender in that entire game.
Yeah. Yeah, something. But that's something the coaches will get with them.
But when you talk about that, when you talk about the difference between a Shaq Lawson and a Mike Love, really, you can't even look at it. I don't even put the two in the same category. Shaq Lawson has been a fantastic run defender, and he gives you pass rush production. Mike Love has yet to be able to make an actual 53-man roster.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to even put them in the same category. What?
He was injured too.
Yeah. So I love our room. I do with Vaughn and Groot and Lawson and Boogie and AJ. We're 5 deep.
Yeah, Spectre's. If Spectre continues to do this in preseason, the coaches love players that play like him, that are just nonstop, making plays on special teams, defense, like everything. Like McDermott loves those type of players. He will make the team if he continues like.
Especially
there's no way you can't
suspended.
Brand new vibes.
Oh yeah, you're right. Smith is going to. Yep.
And with Smith being suspended for the first 6 games, I can absolutely see Spectre, if he keeps capitalizing on that, taking that job. Because Saran Neal was the same way. You're right, Drip. They're the same type of vibes, because you have to remember when Saran Neal first started, everyone's like, man, this guy's so athletic and he's just all over the field. We don't know where to put him, but he was a special team godsend.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's my boy. That's one of my boys too. Like that's my.
Oh, dude, I love when he was
he's a hitter.
He was my number one. He was my number one.
I love that guy.
I was saying you got to re-sign.
Yeah, he got it for sure.
Oh, dude, he's another freak athlete, man. Like he's just he's a beast, man.
Who is a matchup nightmare, because if I wish we would have used him more in that divisional game, because when in the regular season we matched him up with Kelsey and he got physical with him, and Kelsey struggled with that. We didn't do that in the playoffs. We didn't match him
away
up.
With it.
We didn't use him in the way, because you want to know where, like, is he going to be the fantastic outside guy? Probably not. He doesn't have the technique for that. He used to be a safety. You want to get him dirty, get him up there, have him beat guys up on the big guys up off the line because he has the speed to keep up with the tight ends, especially on those crossers. But he's also physical enough to match up with them where he's not going to get bullied by the tight ends.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I just felt you hit it.
Big
you
nickel
hit on the head.
That's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of a big nickel, just a nasty one.
Dude.
Who's a special team freaking ace.
Nickel. That's his spot. Here you go.
Yep.
So that covers our thumbs up, thumbs down portion, Tommy.
All right, man. Hey, so overall, like I said, we won the game. I thought there was a lot more good than bad in that game. And to me, what I looked for in that game, mainly, honestly, what I was watching for was the young guys, the rookies. Like, I know what the vets can do. You know what I mean? Like, I do. I'm not really, like, we just talking about Shaq Lawson. I know he wasn't called. He didn't do much, but that's not really what I'm looking for in this game. I was really looking at the rookies, and that's what shined the most. Right? Like, if I had to say what shined the most for me and what was really important was the Kyer Elam, Christian Benford, the punt god, like knowing that he can hold the ball when it counts. All those checks were green checked, right? Are you thinking different, Mikey?
No, I do agree. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning where I really was excited about the situations we got to play in. We got really good scenarios looks. And let me go back to the Shaq. I put him on the thumbs down. The dude played 14 plays. So it's not like he had a whole lot of options. Right. You know what I mean? And he did, and he played against the first team defense. You know, I just didn't notice him. I honestly didn't think he played until I pulled up the PFF report and saw that he had 14. I'm like, oh, and I was stretching for thumbs down guys on the defense because that defense played fantastically. But what you're talking about, Tommy, yeah, no, I agree. We checked a lot of boxes. I'd like to see a little bit more out of James Cook. I hope they give him a little bit more run in the next game because I want to see what he looks like in the backfield. With a better O-line. I was really excited about Zach Moss. He played really well.
He did.
He looked healthy.
He did. I give credit where credit's due, man. Yeah. I've been on the Moss. I've been off the Moss train for a little bit.
Yeah, you have.
But you know me, Mikey. I'll admit if a player's doing well or played a good game. Shit, if Bobby Hart came in and played a great game, which is never going to happen. But if he did, I'd be here saying Bobby Hart played a good game. Good for him. So Zach Moss, 100%, looked a lot different than he did last season on just those few runs that he got. Like, he looked.
You could tell his ankle was healthy. You could tell he was healthy.
His cuts were better.
When he bounced off the lineman, was able to reverse field, put the ball in his opposite arm, and then break it off. Last year, he couldn't have done that. He would have bounced off that thing, and his foot wasn't right, so he couldn't pivot and break off the opposite way. And you could tell the difference between them.
Now, I wonder real quick, when they're going to announce it, because Scott's coming in about the Josh. I wonder if they're going to announce midweek or sometime if Josh Allen's going to play this next game. Typically,
don't
because
expect to see him at all this year.
Yeah, so we've gone to 3 games now instead of 4 preseason. Typically, now the second game would be that third game, from before, and this would normally be when your starters are playing for a quarter and a half or so.
If he plays, because last year he played in game 3. If he plays, I would expect him to be playing in this coming game. It's at home. It's Kids Day. If he plays at all this preseason, I would expect it to be this week. However, I don't want to see him at all in the preseason. After watching what happened to Jalen Hurts, where he got hit late out of bounds, after seeing what happened to Zach Wilson on a non-contact, and some of these other things, keep most of our starters in bubble wrap until week 1.
Man, it's so I'm like, I was against it and I was for, like, it's tough. I will say this because you kind of want to get them get that little rust off.
If they're going to do that, they should do one or 2 series.
Yeah.
Week,
exactly.
Like, do it at all.
Like, if you're going to do it, I agree with Mikey. Like, give them 2 series. That's it. 2 series and you're done. Sit them down. Like the rust is off. I saw we got to, you know what I mean? You got that first hit on you. You're ready for the season. I don't need to see no more. You're good to go. Like I don't need to see him 2 quarters, quarter and a half.
I just need to see him a drive or two.
It would be, it would be nice to see him like a couple series. You know what I mean? And then that's it. Go sit down, high fives and get ready for week 1 of regular season. But I don't know. I don't know if they're going to sit him every preseason. I think you're going to see him at least a series or 2, probably 2 series.
We'll see.
And they did that last season. Yeah. Listen, I wouldn't shock me. I mean, I understand that. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm so shocked, but I have a feeling that you'll see him at least a series or 2, but we'll see. I have no idea.
To answer Scott's question here, I think they're invested in Keenum. Yes. I don't think Keenum's going anywhere. Chewy comes in for a question for Drip.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Who do you think's on the bubble this week for the next round of cuts? Who's that guy you think's on the bubble that needs to show out in this upcoming Denver game?
To show out or to get cut?
Yeah. Who's on the bubble that needs to show out so they don't get cut?
Dang, who dodging the slice?
Yeah, it's narrowing down. There's going to be cuts we don't like, by the way, guys. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Honestly, I'm thinking maybe, and when we play this with Denver, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Denver.
Maybe a corner.
The Tim Harris, the Jamarcus Ingrams.
Yeah.
Those
maybe
types.
A corner. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see any receivers getting cut right now.
You forgot one.
Who though? Like, who's going to play this game? I think it all depends who, you know what I mean, who gets some of the most time. I feel like it's going to be out of somebody who's on the field.
And I think it's more on the O-line. Personally, for me, I think some of those O-line, the Van Rottens, the Bobby Harts.
Oh, well, yeah.
Those are the guys that I think who are on the bubble that could get let go after this week if they don't play well. Nick McLeod, I think Nick McLeod has had a good camp. I don't think he's going to make it to the end.
Yeah, I think
I don't see him getting cut early.
Yeah, Bobby Hart for sure, and he'll probably get re-signed. There was a player I forgot to mention, Mikey, and it should have been in the thumbs down because I keep saying this. The receiver, touchdown Jesus.
Oh yeah, Kumaro and his fumble.
Who like has this weird Bills Mafia has this weird thing with him. He's just not a good. I'm sorry, he's not a good receiver.
He's a fantastic special teams guy.
That's what he'll be. Jake Kumaro.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a special teams guy. I like, and that's Brandon McDermott. They love their special teams. Like they love their special teams guys.
I think
you'll make the team because of that. But
I do believe that Jake Kumaro's fumble opens the door for Isaiah Hodgins to make the team. Because you have to look at how many special teams only guys are we going to keep. With Spector coming in, with us keeping Taiwan Jones, what does Kumaro bring that those guys don't?
You're right, Mikey. That's what I'm saying. There's going to be cuts that may surprise them. That might be one of them. Like Cam Lewis, for as well as he played, might be cut. He might be one of those guys. Even though I thought he played very well. Man, like Dane Jackson sitting the first game's kind of telling me he's the starter. He's starting. Like they sat all their starters. There's a reason why Dane Jackson didn't play. He's probably going to be CB2. And Cam Lewis, that leaves Cam Lewis. I mean, as well as Kyer Elam's played and Christian Benford,
can't cut Benford. Benford will get snagged quickly.
Yeah, 100%. So
Lewis putting him on the practice squad
is like the odd man out, man. Like as of now, listen.
Depends on how many they keep too. Depends on how many they keep too.
And things change. We don't know what's going to happen week 2, week 3 with injuries. This guy, bro, there's camp injuries. We talked about it. Marquez Stevenson, foot injury, something stupid like a foot.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Man. So I think that's gonna about wrap it up, guys. Oh, real quick, guys. Though I want to tell you this. So this Friday, me and Mikey, we go live. Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. Friday Night Lights returns.
Yeah, Friday Night Lights returns at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I hope you guys are there. We're gonna be previewing the Denver game and just talk a little bit more shit with you guys. Maybe have a guest on. Who knows what we do? But that will be this Friday, and also I believe Saturday. I have Jason Malloy is doing a baseball podcast for any of you guys that like baseball. He'll be doing a baseball podcast Saturday, so look for that. I believe that's at 8:30. But I'll hit you guys up on Twitter. And what else, Mikey, we got going on? Anything else I'm missing?
Not for this week, but things that are coming up. We have Friday Night Lights this Friday, and then on September 3rd, we have a fantasy show, Fantasy Kingdom will be launching. We do have a few other shows once the season starts that will be coming. Tailgate Talk will be returning, but it won't be with Tommy and I. We're working on something special for Tailgate Talk. And then we'll try to bring our man Drip on as much as possible, as much time as he wants to give us. We can come on over anytime he wants, man.
Look for some special Drip stuff dropping, because you never know.
I really enjoyed this, brother. I appreciate you coming on.
We do, man. I like this. This is definitely.
I told. Listen. This is what me and Mikey do.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, too, man. Thanks a lot.
Hey, anytime. Any last words, Drip, for the people out there, man?
First of all, man, I just want to say that I really appreciate, Tailgate Talk. You know what I'm saying? I definitely had a great time. I appreciate Tommy and Mikey having me. You know what I'm saying? Definitely my extended family now. So I definitely will be showing my face. Y'all will be hearing my voice way more now. And man, please keep these boys buzzing. Keep everything going. Shout out Bills Mafia. Shout out Signature Cuts. Shout out our Numa Records. I appreciate all the support. Y'all go keep running that Unstoppable up. We're going to the Super Bowl. We crushing it this season. You know what I mean? And let's keep supporting. Let's go. Bills Mafia, man. And I'm here. Let's get it.
Right on.
Now that's an outro. And now, Mikey,
and before we take off,
Izzy,
hit Tommy and I up in the DMs on Twitter. We'll talk about that. Izzy did a show with Justice and Jake back in the day. So hit us up. We'll work something out.
Hit me up. Tommy Talks Bills. Apex 006. And now what time is it, Mikey? What time?
It's the time for the best outro in the business.
Oh, it is. Here we go.
And look at it go. He could go all the way. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Go.
Woo!
The Bills make me want to shout.
Yeah. Go Bills, guys. Peace out.